A common question that we get asked pretty regularly is how in the world do I update language strings? And a pretty common language string that we see people asking to update is actually an automated email that gets sent out specifically when users self-register for a course. So if you have self-enrollment turned on in a course, and the user goes to actually enroll in that course. They click the Enroll Me button, and then they're placed into that course. It actually triggers an email that says, Welcome to whatever the name of your course is. And then it also will tell them, if you have not done so already, you should edit your profile page so we can learn more about you. And then it gives them a link directly back to their profile. That's a pretty common one that we see people asking, saying, hey, how do I change the terminology of this specific email? But keep in mind what we're going to show you today. This is just how to update a language string. We're going to use that as our particular example. But keep in mind that you can update just about any language throughout your site by using this language string. I actually used it the other day to change the wording. Let me just show you here. Let me get a just generic course. I actually used the language string updates also the other day to change this text where it says you can enroll in this course. For the particular client I'm working with, that particular language didn't make sense. We're using the site more so as a showcase type site than a educational learning type site. So they're just kind of using it as a portfolio. So we're just using it to launch things, right? So we just made some changes to that. We changed this instead of saying go to course, changed it to say launch. Same for this button. So you can update a whole lot of language. One thing I will caution you on though when updating language strings is in certain places, like for example up here, this is your main menu, certain places, there are just places in the settings for that particular area where you can make those changes. So like for the main menu, those particular items across the top, those wording changes would happen within the settings for that particular area. But some things do have to be changed via language string. Typically, those are going to be things like words on buttons, just your standard text in different places, those types of things. Okay, so let's get back to our example. Let's take a look at how you would make those adjustments. So you're going to go up here to your gear icon. It is going to be underneath the configuration menu. You're going to go down here to localization. Underneath the localization menu, you are going to go to a language customization. You're going to choose whichever language pack you're wanting to alter or adjust. In most cases, for most of our United States clients, you're going to choose English United States. Other clients in other locations may choose to alter the English EN. If your site uses both languages, or even like Spanish and French and other languages, you will need to alter this per language. So you would need to change it in your English United States pack. You would need to change it in your English EN pack. You would change it in your French pack, Spanish pack, all of those. Okay. So if you're using multiple languages, you will need to update the same string across languages. We're just going to use the English United States. Give it a moment here, and then you will get this button, Open Language Pack for editing. If it's the first time you've ever opened the language pack, this can take a while to open because what it's doing is it's opening every single language file that is in your site. So it can take it a moment to load and open. If you've done it before, it typically is pretty quick. Click continue. Now, you've got your strings of the components. Each of these are different files that hold all of the language that is displayed to your end user, right? So that's what these are right here in this little box. Now, you could hunt and peck and find the exact one, but sometimes you don't know where that exact one is located. A little trick that has served me well. Select this top one. On your keyboard, touch Control A. When you hit Control A on your keyboard, that is a select all shortcut. And then here you have only strings containing. And for this particular example, we're looking for that specific email. So I'm just going to copy it. I'm on another screen. And I'm just going to copy and paste. So this is the actual line that I am looking to alter. Now keep in mind that this email is going to also have a title line. So it's going to have the welcome to whatever the name of your course is. So you may want to alter that. That is an individual string. The body of the email is an individual string. So sometimes in order to change these things, you do need to search for whatever the wording in the title is. Now, if it's got your course name in the title, then I would just search for welcome to. Don't put your course name in there because that course name isn't going to come back. You'll see in a moment, those are placeholders. So once you've pasted the text that you're looking for, and like the example I gave earlier in the catalog, we wanted to change go to course to launch, search the words go to course, and it will pull back every language string throughout the site where that particular wording is referenced. So we're going to show strings. So this pulls back 3 different strings for me to kind of understand what it is that we're looking at here. This is core. So what this is going to do, typically, I believe there may be an email if you're also allowing people to self-register for your site that is similar to the one that goes out when you're allowing individuals to self-register for courses. So this is going to be the one that we call the core one that's going out. I would alter this one just in case to make for sure that they are receiving the appropriate text that you want them to receive. This particular one is referring to the enroll self. So when it says enroll underscore self, that tells me that that is looking at self-enrollment. So that's what this one is looking at. This one says enroll Totara face-to-face. So this is talking about the seminar direct enrollment method. So that's how I can tell the difference between these different components here. This is the string itself, so I could have just typed that into this box and it would have pulled them all back as well. When you're making these changes, the only things to be aware of and cognizant of are these little placeholder guys. So this one where it says $a course name, that is going to ensure that your course name is automatically filled in for your learner when they receive that email. So it'll say, welcome to Kenio's course, whatever the name of your course is, right? So that's what that is. And then this is the profile URL. So that's going to ensure that they receive a URL that is a direct link to their specific profile. So that's what that particular one is doing. It'll also give you this warning. Your string contains a placeholder, and it'll tell you a bit more about those placeholders as well. Commonly, what I like to do is I just copy this and paste it over, and then I make my adjustments. So you can just put right? Okay, so you can make your changes however you need to make your changes. Sometimes I have noticed that when I'm making these changes, if you want like a significant space between things, you may have to pop in an HTML break. Not always, but sometimes you do want to do that. That'll just kind of give additional spacing in there because this local customization box, it does recognize HTML for the most part. Now, not necessarily to the point of making the email beautiful and making it look like a marketing email, but it will recognize some rudimentary basic HTML such as breaks and paragraph spacing. I believe it will also maybe even recognize color. I think I have made adjustments in the past to include like making that text red. Maybe not for an email per se, but in different locations on the site. So like if you're wanting to change program due date and really call attention to that, that would be an area where you might want to place HTML tags on either side to indicate a different color. So that is a possibility as well. Okay. Once you've made your changes to everything, you would click on Save Changes to the Language Pack. I don't want to do that on this particular site because I'm okay with the email that goes out on my site. But if you click the Save Changes to the Language Pack, the next step, it will tell you that 3 changes have been made or however many changes have been made. Those changes will then indicate that they have been made. And then you just follow the screen throughout the process and you will see that. Okay, let's talk a little bit quickly about a report source that also goes along with the language strings. There's 2 things I want to point out so that you're just aware that they are on here. Another thing that you can do if you've made significant language changes to your site. You can click on, so select all of them, click on Customized Only, and show those strings. This is going to pull back a list of any strings that you have made adjustments to. So we've made very limited changes on our site, but we have made a few changes on the site. So this is going to pull back any of those language strings. It's going to show me what the text was originally. It's going to show me what I changed my text to. So that's kind of just a nice little so you know that you have access to so that you can go back and you can find the strings that you've altered in the past. So there's that option there. One other thing I want to point out is, let's see, this is also a common one we get. People want to change the word seminar all the way throughout the site. And when they do that, they come back with like 3 pages worth of results. So you can make the change all the way through. So automatically sign users up to face-to-face events. Maybe you're wanting to change it back to face-to-face, or you're wanting to change it to something that is more relevant to your company. You can make those changes and you can put that in the local customization area. The gotcha that I want to point out, this is a really long list. Please be sure to click Apply Changes and Continue Editing before going to the next page. If you click on 2 before clicking this, all of your work on these previous boxes will be lost. Okay, so just something to keep in mind, just a tip and trick there. And lastly, let's look at a report source that is tied to language packs. So underneath your gear icon, going to reports, and I believe it is just simply an embedded report. You may have to add it though. There we go, language customizations. Let's see if that pulls it back. Okay, we may have to build it. But there is a report source called language customizations. You know what? Alex is fantastic. He's already built one. So here we go. He's already built one based off of that report source. So you can view that. And this is going to show me exactly which pack is impacted. So this is going to pull back all of your language customizations. So if you've made changes to your US pack, your Spanish pack, and your French pack, it's going to pull back all of those languages. It's going to show you the component that you changed, the ID, what the original text was, what you changed that text to. So this is also a nice report just to be aware of, especially if you're making some pretty heavy language changes and customizations to your site. So I hope that you found this video helpful. It was a bit long, but definitely something that we do get asked about all the time. So have a wonderful rest of your day, and thanks so much for joining us.